Are you frustrated with your Sentro circular knitting machine? Well, let's fix that by starting with a good foundation, the cast on. In this video, I will take you step by step how I like to do my cast on my 48 needle circular knitting machine for tube mode. To have your machine in tube mode, the button needs to look like this picture where it's next to the T on the side of your machine. The T stands for tube. Let's get going on how to cast on, and don't forget to hit that like and follow button for more free tutorials and projects.
First, we need to cast on. I take the tail end of my yarn and I make it about the length of my machine. I like to start my rows at my white 48 needle, and we want to hook it under the needle. So you want your yarn to go up and under the needle so it hooks onto it, like this. So starting at my white needle, I hook it under, and that's to start my cast on. And then with my right hand, as I crank forward with the crank handle, on the next needle, which is now my number 1 needle, we're going to go behind it. Now, when you're casting on, you don't want it really tight. That's going to bind up your machine and it's not going to want to make the stitches, and you don't want it overly loose too. You just kind of want it touching the back and front sides of your needle. The second needle, the number 2 needle, you're going to go under so it hooks, and then over, and then under so it hooks again, on the back side, under the front so it hooks the needle, on the back and front, back and front. And we're going to do this all the way around one time till we get back to our white needle. Now you can also start at your number 1 needle, but I like the visual of the white needle, which is labeled as the 48th needle. That's the needle I like to start and stop my rows with. As you start to crank your rows, if you find your machine is grinding or popping or it's dropping a ton of stitches, it could be that you have too thick of a yarn. So once we get back to our white needle, we're going to stop at the 47th needle and we want to put it in our yarn holder. Before we start to crank out your rows, check your machine. This is how your yarn should look for your cast on. It's under and over every other needle, like this. And so if you get any yarn that's going over 3 needles or it's tucked under 2 needles, you want to redo your cast on because you are going to get drop stitches. Your cast on is the foundation to your project, and it's like a foundation chain if you crochet, and this is what all the knit stitches lock into place to. So without this, you either won't be able to create the stitches or they're going to drop.
Congratulations on successfully casting on to your Sentro circular knitting machine. For part 2 on cranking out your rows, hit that like and follow button, or check out my full tutorial on how to make a double layer beanie hat linked in the video description below. Happy crafting, everybody!